Okay guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I kind of want to go over the micro chest rig and like the philosophy of use behind it and how I see it being used and what I use it for. So if you can see right now, I've got my full belt kit on, my web gear, and I'm just using it right now to add 3 more extra rifle mags to my loadout. So I've got 6 on my belt, plus 3, plus 1 on my gun. That's 10 rifle mags, all ready to go. And with these modern micro rigs, you got a big admin pouch, so you can carry medical gear, a survival kit. You could carry your observation gear for, like if you're doing an LP, OP, you could have your binoculars, compass, a notebook, a radio, and, I've got a multi-tool and a pistol mag in it right now. Obviously, I'm not carrying a pistol on this rig, but I could add a drop leg pretty easy. The reason I have the pistol mag in it is because this is the rig I normally keep in my truck, and I'm always carrying my EDC handgun, so I like to keep an extra mag in there, which that brings me to another use of the micro rig. Like what I like mainly using it for is to keep in my truck. I keep a rifle with the mag in it in this micro rig, and I've got 4 mags plus my pistol, a mag in it, and an extra pistol mag, and I'll keep some medical gear and a notebook and things like that in it. But for like this kind of a role, say you're going out, you're going to be out for a few days on some kind of recon mission or whatever. Obviously you've got your however many mags you carry on your belt, but like I just got a basic combat load of 6 mags, and I really can only fit 6 mags on this rig because I want to make room for water and an IFAK and all that. But it's a good way to layer your kit. Like a lot of guys will say these are useless, and obviously by themselves you wouldn't necessarily want to go out in a combat situation with just a little micro rig like this. But for me, I like to layer my gear, so I have my first line pocket gear, like a lot of survival gear in my pockets, and then the web gear is my second line, and then your pack will be your third line. But the way I look at a micro rig, it's part of my first line. Like if I lose, take off my web gear and I take off my ruck or have to drop it for whatever reason, I've at least got some basic survival things in this pouch and a few extra rifle mags. So to me, they're not useless. It's just all about how you layer your gear and depending on your mission or whatever you're doing. But to me, a micro rig just has a lot of uses, and I really like them. And obviously this idea isn't new. Historically, if you go back and look at the Vietnam Alert guys, or the SOG guys, or even some of the SAS guys, as far as like the LRP and SOG guys, you'd see them with a lot of times, you'd see them with the old Chi-Com chest rig. That just adds, 3 to 6 magazines extra on your person. And a lot of the SAS guys will carry the old Pattern 83, chest rigs along with their belt kit. So it's the same idea. There's nothing new about it. But to me, I just find the micro chest rig to be extremely useful, and, it's got a lot of uses. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's useless. Yeah, a lot of guys might think, oh, this is all I need is, 3 rifle mags and that's it. And depending on situation, for home defense or a truck loadout, 3 rifle mags might be all you need. But, Obviously in a combat type situation, you wouldn't want to just go out there with 3 rifle mags. That's obviously not very smart. But so if you kind of look at my loadout here, it's just basically a modern version of a Vietnam LRP or a SOG type loadout. A lot of those guys didn't necessarily carry the butt pack. I really like carrying the butt pack, but as far as the idea behind it, it's just a modern version of what those guys carried. So it's nothing new, but, for me, just adding a little micro rig where I can carry 3 extra rifle mags on top of what I'm already carrying, along with the utility of having a pretty decent size admin pouch, and then a couple smaller pouches on the side here. For me, it just makes a lot of sense, especially in like the modern Minuteman type role. It's just something. Now, obviously, you have to, like my main kit here, it's all one piece, so that's something I can just grab and go. So obviously with the micro rig, I got to put that on separately. But depending on what I'm doing or what I think I might get into, I think it's really, a good idea to have this. So if I think I'm gonna, I might need to get it. If I think I'm gonna need more than the 7 mags that I typically would have, adding something like this, I think is just a really good idea. So I guess that's just, that's about all I got, but that's kind of that's just why I like the micro rigs, basically. For me, it makes a lot of sense, and it's all about philosophy of use. All of your gear should be layered anyways. Like you should have, your first line, your second line, your third line. It should all work together. So, and with carrying something like this micro rig, say you are on a patrol and you set up a patrol base and you need to go out on a small recon mission, and maybe you necessarily don't want to carry all of your gear, but you still want to have, a few rifle mags on you. That's another kind of reason I like to have this, because it just gives you another option. Say I could add, a drop leg pistol holster to this pretty easy. So I could take off my main web gear, take off my pack, and I can still have the essential things I need for survival in my pockets and in this little pack right here. And I have 3 plus 1 in the gun. In certain situations, that might be all you need. But that's just some ideas, just kind of how I'm thinking about this stuff. Like, I'm always trying to think of ways to adapt my gear and use it. I'm always kind of thinking, in this situation I might need this, or in this situation I might only need this. But if you put it in layers like this, if you have to take off and, E&E or whatever, and you need to be light, a lot of what, sometimes you could just probably get by with just the micro rig and a pack. You carry extra mags inside your pack. Not every mag has to be quick access. I know a lot of guys will show you that, you have to do all these quick reloads, but if you look at a lot of combat and like guys that have been in combat, and a lot of those guys will tell you not every mag has to be, you don't have to reload within a second or less. That's just not realistic. So if you, for like a light rig, like a little light recon rig, say you're doing a property patrol and you're only going to be out for a couple hours and you're not really expecting anything, then, that's another use for this. You just have this on you, and you might have, anywhere between 3 to 6 mags in your pack, but it allows you to, a lot of this, you have all this gear on, it weighs quite a bit, so if you can get by with just this, and maybe a small assault pack with 3 to 6 extra mags, you can move a lot quicker. So in my opinion, the micro chest rig is definitely not useless. It's just all about how you use it and how you're going to incorporate it into your gear. So it's just another part of the system that you can use and just another tool in your toolbox. So I guess that's pretty much all I got in this video. So stay tuned. I plan on having a few more videos out in the near future. So until then, thanks for watching, guys. I'm out.